You drop the cash, you build the beast of a PC, and it should be tearing through NBA 2K26 on max settings. So why does it feel like you're playing on a 10-year-old laptop? You're watching your players stutter across the court, losing games to input lag, and dealing with random crashes. Let me tell you right now, it's not your GPU, it's not your RAM, it's a massive hidden CPU bottleneck that's making one of the most CPU hungry games in years almost unplayable. But what if the fix wasn't another 4-figure hardware upgrade? What if it was buried in a single config file? Today we're digging it up. We're going to force this game to use your processor the right way and get rid of that stutter for good. Forget everything you know about game optimization, because the problem isn't your graphics settings, it's the fact that NBA 2K26 is completely fumbling how it uses your CPU cores. This leads to insane loading times, wild frame rate swings, and crashes when the game just gives up. This isn't just a theory, it's known issue that bringing powerful rigs to their knees. But by the end of this video, you'll have a permanent fix that costs you nothing but 5 minutes of your time. Is your CPU actually the problem? First, let's make sure you're actually dealing with a CPU bottleneck. The signs are subtle. Is your gameplay butter smooth 1 second, then a stuttering mess the next? Especially in a packed city or during a fast break? That's symptom number 1. The other smoking gun, when turning your graphics settings down, does absolutely nothing to improve your frame rate. If you make your GPU's job easier, but the problem doesn't go away, it's because GPU was never the problem to begin with. To be sure, we need data. The quickest way is with Task Manager. Hit Ctrl-Shift-Escape, head to Performance tab, and click on your CPU. Now right-click the graph, go to Change Graph to, and select Local Processors. This breaks down the workload for every single one of your CPU cores. Fire up NBA 2K26 and jump into a game. Alt tab back to Task Manager. See that? So as you can see, those tiny little boxes, some of them, depending on your setup, are slammed at like 100%, while the others are just kind of like chilling. That's the bottleneck, live in action. NBA 2K26 is terrible at spreading the love, so it just hammers a couple of cores until they can't keep up, leaving the rest of your processor on vacation. This is what causes the stutters. Even if your overall CPU usage looks low, for an even better look, use a tool like MSI Afterburner. If you see your GPU usage is chilling below 95% while your frame rate tanks and individual CPU cores are spiking, you've found your culprit. Your CPU can't feed your graphics card data fast enough, and your GPU is just sitting there waiting. Ultimate fix: hacking the hidden config file. Alright, here's the fix that will solve this for vast majority of you. We're going to manually correct the game's shady CPU management by editing a configuration file that tells NBA 2K26 how to behave. This one tweak is known to slash loading times, boost stability, and kill stutters. First, you need to find the game's hidden settings folder. Open File Explorer, type %appdata% in the address bar and hit enter. This will probably take you to a roaming folder, so go back one level to get to the main app data directory. From there, navigate into the local folder, find the 2K Sports folder, and inside the NBA 2K26, the file we're looking for is videosettings.cfg. Stop before you do anything, copy that file to your desktop. That's your backup. If anything goes haywire, you can just drag it back in. Now right click videosettings.cfg and open it with Notepad. You'll see a wall of text. Settings we care about are CPU cores and CPU threads. Now here's where things get weird. and you just have to trust the process. The game engine has a strange bug where it actually performs worse when it tries to use all of your cores. So we're going to manually lower the values. Let's say you have a 12 core 24 thread CPU. The fix is to cut that down. A good starting point is setting the CPU cores to 6. This prevents the engine from tripping over itself trying to manage too many threads, which is a huge source of instability. Next, scroll down and find the line that says allow GPU upload. Heaps by default is often set to false. Change this to true. This just helps your CPU and GPU communicate more efficiently. Once you've made those changes, save the file, but you are not done. This is the most important step. Right click the video settings CFG file again, go to properties and check the box that says read only, then click apply. If you skip this, NBA 2K26 will just undo all your hard work the next time it launches. This locks in our fix for good. Now fire up the game and feel the difference. Fine tuning your system, the Nvidia control panel. The config file is a big one, but we can squeeze out even more performance by telling your graphic card to help take some stress off the CPU. For Nvidia users, open the Nvidia control panel from your desktop, go to manage 3D settings, then program settings, add NBA 2K26.exe file. You might have to browse for it if it's not on the list. Once it's selected, it's changing a few key things. Power management mode, set this to prefer maximum performance. This keeps your GPU clock speeds high and prevents stuttering. Low latency mode, put this on ultra. This drastically cuts down the input lag caused by the CPU bottleneck. Thread optimization, make sure this is on. It's designed to help games use multi-core CPUs better, which is exactly our goal. Texture filtering quality, switch this to high performance. Vertical sync, turn this off. VSync can create its own latency issues. You might get some screen tearing, but we can fix that later with a proper frame rate cap. Windows optimizations for peak performance. We have handled the game and the drivers. Now let's tune up Windows itself. First, let's unlock the ultimate performance power plan. Search for CMD, right click command prompt and run as administrator. Now paste in this command. Press enter. Now go to your power options in the control panel and you'll see the ultimate performance plan. Select it. This tells Windows to stop trying to save power and just go fast. Next, in your Windows settings, search for game mode settings and make sure game mode is on. This is simple toggle that tells Windows to focus resource on your game. Finally, let's give the game priority. With NBA 2K26 running, open Task Manager, Control Shift Escape, go to the Details tab, find NBA 2K26.exe, right click it, go to Set Priority and choose High. Do not set it to real time. That can and will cause system instability. High priority just tells your CPU to serve the game before dealing with less important background junk. And speaking of junk, close Chrome, close Discord, close everything that doesn't need to be running. Final in-game settings tweaks. With all the back-end work done, we can jump back into the game for a few last tweaks. The major stuttering should be gone by lowering specific CPU heavy settings can give you an even more locked frame rate. The biggest CPU hogs are almost always crowds and shadows. Crowd quality, dropping this from high to medium, can have a massive impact on CPU load with very little visual trade-off during gameplay. Shadow quality, this is another killer. Lowering it to medium is a huge performance win. VSync, like we said, keep this off. Screen tearing drives you nuts. Use your GPU control panel or Riva tuner to cap your frame rate just below your monitor's refresh rate. It's much better solution. Motion blur, just turn it off. It's useless effect that just eats resources. Feel free to play around with these, but start there. The goal is a rock solid frame rate without making the game look terrible. If this guy helped you finally fix NBA 2K26 and actually enjoying the game you paid for, do me a solid and hit the like button. And for more deep dive guides you won't find anywhere else, make sure you subscribe, drop a comment below, let me know how much of a difference this made for you. Alright guys, have a great day.